Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Dylan here. Alright, so we're going to be talking about a brand new Magic the Gathering format. So, this format is, I think it's called Oathbreaker. And this deck is Battle with Bolas. So, what Oathbreaker is you choose it's basically Commander. It's a singleton format. So, you choose instead of a legendary creature, you choose a Planeswalker and a spell. So, instead of your legendary commander, you have a Planeswalker and its signature spell. My Planeswalker of choice was a Bolas Dragon God. And you can basically see what he does here. So Bolas has all other abilities of all other Planeswalkers on the battlefield. That's very good considering this format is every deck has at least one Planeswalker in it. And then his +1 is you draw a card. Each opponent exiles a card from their hand or a permanent they control. Now that's a pretty powerful ability right off the bat. It's a freaking good ability. That ability alone can throw games, like just start getting you closer to winning, and yeah. It's -3, as you can see, is destroy target creature or Planeswalker. That's also very good because of his ultimate. His ultimate is -8. Each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or Planeswalker loses the game. Okay, guys. Now that's freaking insane because of his. Not only does his ability, both of his abilities, other abilities, get rid of permanents and Planeswalkers and all the stuff that could be legendary. But also, the thing that's awesome too is the spell of my choice, which is the Elder Spell. So the Elder Spell, it reads, destroy any number of target Planeswalkers. Choose a Planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty counters on it for each Planeswalker destroyed this way. And yeah, that's pretty legit because most of the time, any legendary permanents that you will have will be Planeswalkers. So that's when you choose Bolas as your target for this, and you add all of those counters onto Bolas, and then you ultimate. The problem with this format, I mean, it's not really a problem because it makes it even cooler, is you can't cast your chosen instant or sorcery or signature spell unless the Planeswalker is on the field. So that there is a little bit of a problem. Because you got to make sure that your Planeswalker is cheap. Or not cheap, but like low CMC. Yeah, and you just want to make sure that's the case with your Planeswalker. And also, every time that your Planeswalker dies, when you have to recast it, it costs 2 more to cast, just like Commander. And same with the spell. The spell also does that. So we're going to go through my list that I've chosen to show to you. And yeah. So the first sorcery that we picked was Aid the Fallen. Aid the Fallen's pretty cool because it says return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return target Planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. You could also choose both. And that means you not only can get a creature to protect the Planeswalker that you just grabbed from the graveyard, but also you grab, a Planeswalker, which Bolas can use to gain its abilities. The next card we got here is Angrath's Rampage. So, this is great because you choose one, and target player sacrifices an artifact, or target player sacrifices a creature, or target creature sacrifices a Planeswalker. So, that can get rid of, problem creatures. It can get rid of broken artifacts. And, obviously Planeswalkers to help you with Bolas's ultimate. Now, Deliver Unto Evil. This was a card that I couldn't tell whether or not I wanted it in the deck. I mean, I like it for flavor. So basically what it reads is, Choose up to 4 target cards in your graveyard. If you control a Bolas Planeswalker, return those cards to your hand. Otherwise, an opponent chooses 2 of them. Leave the chosen cards in your graveyard, put the rest into your hand, and then you exile this card. So, that's pretty fun. Next one is Jace's Triumph. I'm thinking about switching that out. But I know for sure we at least run one Jace Planeswalker. So what that card says is draw 2 cards, and if you control a Jace Planeswalker, draw 3 cards instead. The problem with this card is, not only does it cost 3, but it also is a sorcery, which means, well, obviously not instant speed. Lava Coil, that's an obvious choice. It's there to get rid of problematic creatures with toughness 4 or less, obviously, to exile them. I hate this card's name because I can never say it. This is also in there for for fun. I really like it. Anyway, it's it's a fun card. It says exile cards from all opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast those cards, basically. And then at the beginning of the next end step, if any cards remain in exile, return them to the owner's graveyards. And then you exile this. So that's pretty fun. I really enjoy that. I mean, it's not the best card. Honestly, you could replace it for anything else, and it'd probably be better. This one's great. I was thinking about actually running Duress in here. But the thing is this one targets both graveyards or hands. So that's very great versatility for the deck. The problem is that it does cost 3. And yeah, it's a sorcery. So that's also a problem. Price of Betrayal is a fun card, especially in this format. Because, well, as it says, remove up to 5 counters from target artifact, creature, planeswalker, or opponent. So you could basically kill a planeswalker, get rid of any good artifact that involves counters or anything like that. You just get rid of them. Gone. Or if, what cards put counters on players that are really good? I don't remember. But I know that there are some out there that you could use that card for. Next, we have Quasi-Duplicate. That's there to create a copy of a creature, because we don't actually have that many creatures. We only have 3. So, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of another problem on the deck. So, yeah. If you see any cards that you do want to take out, I would recommend putting in more creatures, but it's worked just fine for me without the creatures. Spark Harvest is freaking amazing. The one problem is it requires you to sack a creature if you do want to pay 1 for it. Or you can pay 5, whatever. I would suggest probably putting in a better spell in this spell slot. But it's still fun. So, basically, you, as an additional cost to cast this card, you may sacrifice a creature or pay 4. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. That's pretty great. We always need to get rid of creatures and planeswalkers. Thought Erasure, that's just a good card in general. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and that player discards that card. Surveil 1. That's great. It's great. Alright, the artifacts. So, the Clue Stones and the Lockets are basically the same thing, just in different colors. So, so this is what they do, basically. So, Dimir Clue Stone, you tap it for a blue or a black mana, and then you can do stuff and sacrifice it to draw a card later. I never use them for that, but you can use them for that. So, Dimir Cluestone, that's blue-black. Rakdos Cluestone Izzet Cluestone is red-blue. Rakdos Cluestone and Rakdos Locket are red-black. Then Mana Geode is 1 mana of any color. And also when it enters the battlefield, you get to scry. God Pharaoh's Statue. I would not play this, but I find it fun, especially because this is a Nicol Bolas deck. So it's fun for, you know, theme and all that. It's just a fun card to play. Yeah. No, now the lands, I've been changing them quite a bit, but this is kind of what I've stuck with. So basically, a lot of these lands are super expensive. You don't actually have to run them. I'm just doing it because I play the deck. Well, I played this version of the deck online for free. So I just run all the most expensive lands possible. So a lot of these lands are basically like this, where they're basic lands, but they tap for 2 different colors. That one's red-black. This one. So Command Tower is interesting. So the ruling for this format is you can actually tap it, and it's basically, instead of saying Commander, it says Oathbreaker or Signature Spell for the Commander's color and color identity. This one's pretty fun. It taps for Nicol Bolas' colors. This one's also fun. Also taps for Nicol Bolas' colors. This one's fun. Taps for Nicol Bolas' colors. This one's great. So you pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, destroy target non-basic land. Then each player opponent controls. And then each player searches his or her library for a basic land card and puts it onto the battlefield, then shuffles his or her library. That's just a good card to get rid of, like, horrible lands like, what's that one? It's green, and it says tap it and create 1 green mana for every creature you control. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Anyway, that one, it's good for that, too. This one, I don't know why I'm still running this in there. I mean, it's nice, but there's way better lands. I was actually going to get rid of that one. Railcore Tower, we draw a ton of cards. And also, games do go long, so you always want something to keep your hand, well, always open. Let's say that. Underground Sea, black-blue, and Volcanic Island is blue-red. And then for creatures, we have Dreadhorde Butcher. Freaking amazing card. One of my favorite cards that was printed in the War of the Spark. So, it is a 1/1 haste zombie warrior for 2 mana, a black and a red. Dreadhorde Butcher. Whenever Dreadhorde Butcher deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on Dreadhorde Butcher. When Dreadhorde Butcher dies, it deals 1 damage equal to its power to any target. Now that's freaking fun. I really enjoy that. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch people kill it when it's like really big, and I'm like, hey, guess what? Bam. Screw you. Anyway, it's fun. Sorry, I am a little sick. So, Nightveil Predator. It's 4 mana, 2 blue and 2 black. For flying, Death Touch, 3/3. Vampire. And it also has Hexproof. All of those are great. I love all of those abilities. So to have them all on one creature is amazing. This one's fun. So Spellgorger Weird. It's whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put the +1/+1 counter on this. So all of the spells in our deck, except for 2 others, are non-creature. This thing's gonna get big very quickly. It's always fun. You don't have to run this. I'm running it again for freaking what do you call it? For theme, basically, for the theme, because, you know, into Bolas's clutches, haha, take control of something. You know, that's what Bolas does. You don't have to run it. In fact, it's quite a garbage spell, but I like it. It's fun. So the instances, yeah, there we go. All right, so we have Chemister's Insight. Basically says draw 2 cards and it has Jumpstart. Commence the endgame, also for flavor. Flavor, that's what it is. Okay. Also for flavor. Draw 2 cards, then amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. That's awesome. Also, the spell can't be countered. So, while it is a 6 CMC card, it can't be countered. So, you can cast it whenever. It's pretty great. And it's also instant speed, which makes it even better. Okay, this card you don't actually have to run. I just like it for the memes. So, if you copy Commence the Endgame with this card, it's freaking hilarious. You just get all the value. It's insane. Alright, so basically, the only part of this card that you want to look at is the expansion, or is the expansion part of the card, which says copy target instant or sorcery with converted mana cost for, oh wait, sorry, did I say Commence the Endgame? No, sorry. There's another card that I was thinking of, whoops. Anyway, doesn't matter. So basically, you just want to copy crap. Alright, so, Heartfire, amazing card. We don't care about really sacrificing creatures or planeswalkers because we have a crap ton of planeswalkers. And when we do have a creature, it's fine. we don't really need creatures that much. It's a pretty good card. If you do want to put more creatures in there, that makes it an even better card. Alright, Jaya's Greeting. Pretty fun card. If you notice, a lot of these cards are from War of the Spark. I really like War of the Spark cards, and also it's a perfect set for this format. So yeah, I like it a lot. Jaya's Greeting. Jaya's Greeting deals 3 damage to target creature, then scry 1. For 2 mana, that's freaking awesome. Nezareth's Reversal. Now this is a fun card. Are you ready? Copy target instant or sorcery spell. Keep in mind, this can target, counter spells. So, you can counter a counter spell with this card. Then, return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets for that copy. So, you can technically counter a counter spell if it's trying to counter a... Okay, if you were to copy your own counter spell that's countering someone else's counter spell, then you return the original counterspell to your hand, and then it says you may choose new targets for that copy, so you can still choose to copy or to target the original counterspell, and you have another counterspell to hold back for later. So that's freaking awesome. I love that so much. It's so much fun. We aren't running a lot of counterspells in here, which is sad. I was thinking about adding a lot more, or like at least a few more, but we don't really have any good ones right now because I was really just working on the lands recently. So if I update the deck a crazy amount, like you can add whatever you want, but if I update the deck a crazy amount, you can obviously add whatever instant or sorceries or whatever you want, because this is just an idea. So, no escape. We're going to try to go a little bit faster. Here's a counter spell. Counter target creature or planeswalker. Amazing. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Scry 1. Freaking good card. So, that's freaking awesome. Then there's Radical Idea. Draw a card and it has Jumpstart. Not as awesome, but still cool. Counter spell. Counter target spell. So this is Sinister Sabotage. It also lets you surveil one, which is fun. The Tyrant Scorn. Now this is a fun card because it's also within theme, but it's just a fun card to play in general. Choose one. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand. That's fun. I enjoy doing that. Really makes people mad. Alright. So, now for Planeswalkers. This is where it gets to the fun stuff. Ashiok Dreamrender. Alright. So, this is an amazing card. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. -1. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Then exile each opponent's graveyard. That's pretty awesome. Davril Rogue Shadow Mage. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, Davril Rogue deals 2 damage to them. Then is -1, target player discards a card. Alright, Jace Wielder of Mysteries. If you would draw cards while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. -1, Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Draw a card. -8. Draw 7 cards. Then, if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. That's fun. Alright. Kazmina Enigmatic Mentor. There we go. Spells your opponent's cast that target a creature or planeswalker you control cost 2 more to cast. Then, -2. Create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token. Draw a card, then discard a card. That's fun. After that, you got Kaya, Bane of the Dead. So she's fun. So the thing with this format is that you can play double, hybrid mana stuff, as long as one of the hybrid mana is that of one of the colors of your planeswalker. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and she reads, your opponent and permanents your opponent's control with hexproof can be the targets of spells and abilities you control, as though they didn't have hexproof. -3. Exile target creature. That's pretty fun. Nicol Bolas. We already went over him. Other Nicol Bolas. The OG Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. He's pretty freaking awesome. Costs a lot of mana, though. Costs freaking 8. But he's still fun. We love him. +3. Destroy target non-creature permanent. That means planeswalkers. Which means with this Nicol Bolas on the battlefield and your other Nicol Bolas on the battlefield, and since Nicol Bolas Dragon God has all abilities of all planeswalkers on the field, he can also +3 to destroy target non-creature permanent. That's insane. Then his -2 is gain control of target creature. It doesn't say until end of turn. That's awesome. Because most spells that take control of target creature and don't say until end of turn usually cost a ton of mana and usually aren't worth playing. But because this has other amazing abilities on it, it's worth playing. Now, its ultimate, I'm going to need to go big here because I'm blind. Alright, it says, Nicol Bolas Planeswalker deals 7 damage to target player or planeswalker. Then again, it can kill a planeswalker if that's what you need. Or you can deal 7 damage to a player. Alright, that player or that planeswalker's controller discards 7 cards, then sacrifices 7 permanents. That's freaking awesome too. So, also one quick thing I forgot to mention before we end the video is that in this new format, instead of starting at 40 life like Commander, you start at 20 like any normal game of Magic. That's also fun. So yeah, that was my deck. The description is right here. This is a fun deck. I haven't lost a game with it. I've actually played more than 23 games with it. And I still haven't lost one with it. I've gotten very close though, because I don't have a lot of creatures or counter spells, and they could just choose to attack me. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So my Oathbreaker is Nicol Bolas Dragon God, and his signature spell is the Elder Spell. That's pretty fun. All right, and the app that I'm using today it's called, here, let me pull it up. It's called Tapped Out. Now, they have a website too. App and website are linked completely 100% of the time. And then the app that I'm using to record this gameplay, deck tech, it's called Game Screen Recorder. It looks like your boy right here. It's pretty awesome. I use it all the time. It's fun. Alright. Well, that does it for today's Deck Tech Battle with Bolas for the new format Oathbreaker, which is legitimately probably the funnest format that I've played in a long time, or at least the funnest singleton format, because I don't really like Commander. I play it, but I don't really like it. Brawl, it was going somewhere, but then it kind of got boring. And Oathbreaker, it's just there. It's everything that Brawl and Commander was, but better. It's faster, and it's just so much fun. And the fact that you can technically have two commanders that work perfectly together, and I mean technically two, because you have a spell and your commander, basically your Oathbreaker, which is your Planeswalker. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait, no, that's only legendary creatures. Okay, never mind. I was about to say something that probably would have made me sound super stupid. Anyway, that does it all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry that this episode was super long, and I don't really have money for video editing software. So one of these days, I will get a video editing software for this. But yeah, I'm hoping to start doing way more videos. Hopefully not all on my phone, but eventually I'll start doing way more videos. And yeah, all right, that does it all for this deck tech. Bye.